My name is Elias Hawthorne, and at 87, I've got more stories than the stars over Willowbrook, Vermont, where I've lived my whole life. This town, population 4,832, is a quilt of small farms, creaky porches, and folks who know your business before you do. My home's a 50-acre farm just outside town, passed down from my grandfather Silas, his fields green as emerald in spring, with a red barn that's seen better days, and an apple orchard Martha, my late wife, loved to tend. These days I narrate tales for my YouTube channel, Tales from the Rocking Chair, sipping black coffee, no sugar mind you, and sharing lessons from a life of love, loss, and the occasional comeuppance. This story's about my daughter Sarah and a spring in 2025 that shook our family like a nor'easter. It's called My Daughter Pushed Me to a Nursing Home, so I revealed the deed she coveted. Settle in, folks. It's a long one, like a Vermont winter night. The Hawthorne farm sits on a rise overlooking Willowbrook, its fields rolling down to a creek that babbles like it's got secrets. The farmhouse, built in 1880, is white clapboard with a sagging porch, its kitchen warm with the scent of wood smoke and decades of stews. The barn, red but peeling, houses Betsy, an old mare who nibbles my carrots, and a flock of chickens that cluck like they own the place. Mornings I'm up at dawn, coffee brewing in a pot Martha bought in '52. I feed the chickens, check the orchard, apples budding in April, and 10 rows of tomatoes and beans, my knees creaking louder than the barn door. Afternoons I fix fences or tinker with an old tractor, a 1955 Ford that coughs but runs. Evenings I sit on the porch, rocking chair, creaking, recording stories for you folks. The town's my family, too. Mrs. Jenkins from church drops off pies, and young Timmy from the general store lingers to hear my war stories. But at night, the house feels big, empty, since Martha passed in 2005. Her quilt's on my bed, her recipe book on the counter, but loneliness is a quiet guest I can't shake. Sarah, my middle child, born in 1967, was a firecracker from the start. She'd run barefoot through the fields, climb apple trees, and steal pies cooling on the sill, giggling when caught. "I'm going to live here forever, Daddy," she'd say, her pigtails bouncing. Martha taught her to bake, and I taught her to ride Betsy, her small hands gripping the reins. But teens brought rebellion. At 15, she'd argue about chores, sneak off to town dances. "You're too strict," she'd yell, slamming doors. College took her to Burlington in '85, studying business, then real estate. She married Mark in '94, a quiet accountant, and they had 2 kids, Emma and Noah, now 25 and 22. Sarah built a career selling houses, her smile charming clients, but visits home dwindled. She'd call, promising to come, then cancel. Work, kids, life. I understood, but each missed visit stung, like a splinter under the skin. By 2025, she was 58, successful but distant, her calls clipped, her eyes on the farm's value, not its memories. The farm's been ours since Silas bought it in 1875, scraping together $500 after years at the mill. He cleared the land himself, built the house, planted the orchard. My father, Amos, kept it going through the Depression, and I took over in '55 after Korea. Martha and I raised our kids here, her hands in the soil, mine fixing machinery. The land's 50 acres. Pasture, fields, woods, now worth $2 million thanks to Willowbrook's growth as a tourist spot. Developers circle like vultures, offering cash for condos, but I've always said no. The farm's for family, I told Martha's grave, not profit. I set up a trust in 2010 after her passing, naming Emma and Noah as the beneficiaries, the deed locked in a safe under the parlor floorboards. Sarah didn't know. She assumed it'd be hers someday, her realtor's mind seeing dollar signs. Spring 2025 started sweet. Apple blossoms, warm breezes. Sarah visited more, but not for love. She'd bring brochures for Golden Pines, a nursing home an hour away, all glossy photos and promises of care. "Dad, you're 87. The farm's too much. Falls happen," she'd say, her voice sharp, like she was selling me a house I didn't want. I laugh it off. "I'm fine, Sarah. Betsy needs me." But she pushed harder. Mark nodded along, silent, their kids absent. One day she left a brochure on my table, circled in red. Single room, $6,000 a month. I found others in drawers, her handwriting noting "sell farm to cover." My heart sank. She wanted me gone. The farm sold. At dinner she snapped, "Dad, you can't manage alone. Sign up or we're done." I stared at my plate. Peas cold, hurt burning. I wasn't frail. My doctor said my heart's strong, my mind sharp. This wasn't care, this was greed. That night I couldn't sleep. I paced the parlor, Martha's quilt around me, her photo watching. Memories flooded. Sarah's first pony ride, her wedding on the farm, Martha's pride. By dawn I knew what to do. I called Mr. Hargrove, my lawyer, his office a familiar maze of books and pipe smoke. "Elias, what's the trouble?" I told him. Sarah's push, the brochures, her eyes on the farm. He pulled the trust documents, the deed. "The trust is airtight," he said. "Emma and Noah get the farm, not Sarah." I nodded. "Set up a family meeting. It's time she knows." Hargrove drafted a notice, invited Sarah, Mark, and the kids. I opened the safe, the deed's parchment heavy in my hands, a promise to Martha I'd keep. The meeting was in my kitchen. May sunlight streaming through windows, the oak table set with coffee and Martha's old mugs. Sarah arrived, Mark trailing, Emma and Noah nervous. Sarah started, voice clipped. "Dad, we've talked. Golden Pines is best." I let her talk, her words about safety masking her plan. Then I stood, deed in hand. "Sarah, you want the farm sold, but it's not yours." I unrolled the deed, showed the trust. "It goes to Emma and Noah for their future, not your bank account." Sarah's face paled, her mouth open. "What? You can't." Mark stammered. "We thought—" Emma whispered, "Grandpa, you didn't tell us." Noah looked guilty. Sarah exploded. "After all we've done, you're selfish." I stayed calm. "Selfish? I've worked this land 60 years. You want it for cash, not family." Silence fell, heavy like fog. Sarah stormed out, Mark following. Emma and Noah stayed, eyes wet. "We didn't know, Grandpa," Emma said. I hugged them, explained Martha's dream, the farm as a legacy. Days later, Sarah called, sobbing. "Dad, I'm sorry. The business is failing. I thought selling the farm would save us." I invited him back. Over pie, Martha's recipe, we talked. Sarah had admitted her fear. Mark confessed his silence enabled her. I offered a deal. They'd help manage the farm, learn its rhythms, and I'd include Sarah in the trust's oversight, not ownership. By summer, we were planting together. Noah learning the tractor, Emma selling apples at the market. The farm lived again, not as a prize, but a bond. At my age, I know time's short. The farm's more than land. It's Silas's sweat, Martha's love, my kids' roots. Sarah learned greed blinds, but family heals. I record these stories for you, hoping you'll cherish what matters. The orchard's blooming now, and I feel Martha smiling. Subscribe, folks, for more.